Greetings and welcome to Pop's Collection, where we dissect and reflect on a movie or TV show from my Pop's Collection. I'm Ron Tweedy, joining me is Pops, and today we're going to be wrapping up our thoughts on Hawkeye.
Yes, our final thoughts for the moment. Yes, welcome everybody. Glad you're with us today. It's pretty great. It's a nice time that we're actually together at the same spot.
Yep.
For a change.
Right. Although we were together to talk about Hawkeye first, when it first came out for Thanksgiving.
That is true. That is true. Well, so if you haven't seen it yet, I strongly recommend that you do.
Yep.
Especially during the Christmas time, because it's definitely a Christmas story.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So for me, I don't know. I kind of wanted it to go a little bit longer than it did.
Yes, I agree.
6 episodes.
Yeah.
Although it did tell a complete story,
Mm-hmm.
I have to say that I just wanted it to go further. Watching Arrow from the Arrowverse, I don't know if maybe they stretched the story out to tell it, because it was usually somewhere between 20, 22 episodes.
Yeah.
But it was a nice long story, and a lot more character development. I don't know that you can get a lot of character development in 6 episodes.
I don't know. I think that I would rather watch 6 episodes of Hawkeye than 20 episodes of Arrow. And I've seen about a dozen episodes of Arrow.
Well, until you see 20, you don't know if you'd enjoy 20 or not.
I had more enjoyment out of these 6 episodes than I did.
Oh, come on. These 6 episodes were so packed with action and different things going on that it really held your interest for the whole episode. And like the majority of the episodes, you were left at the end of the episode thinking, is that it? This is where they're going to cut it?
Yeah.
So
sure.
It was done real well. It's definitely a very good series. But I have to say that I did enjoy Arrow also.
Yeah.
If you did have to hold me down, there were a lot more things that I would like to have seen in this. So, like I said,
okay,
more than 6 episodes would have been great. I would have loved to seen, which maybe if there is a season 2, which I'm not sure.
They haven't said anything one way or the other.
No, I was trying to find something on it, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
Because I would like them to develop Kate's training with Clint a lot more, because we really did not get a whole lot of that in these 6 episodes. We didn't get a lot of her training.
No.
From this either. So
well, she doesn't need to. I mean, because she's been doing martial arts, fencing, and archery all her life. So it's not like she's ill-equipped. In fact, she's very able to take on.
But I mean, as far as that part of her backstory, like in the Arrowverse, they would do a flashback to how he became who he was, and that developed over those episodes. And I'd kind of like to see something similar to that, and get a little bit more of what went on with Kate Bishop and how she, decided that, you could be a superhero with just a piece of wood with string and an arrow, and a stick.
Well, we saw that because that was the first episode.
Right, we just saw part of it, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's all we need to see.
Oh, fine. Okay. Well, anyway, so we had talked about the first episode, Never Meet Your Heroes.
Yeah. And the second one.
We also did Hide and Seek, right? Which was our first chance to see the what do we call them? The TSMs, the tracksuit mafias.
Well, they were in the first episode,
but more so in the second than.
Sure.
They were kind of at the end of the first episode. Then we had episode 3, which was about their Clint and Kate being captured and being grilled by this woman Maya, which we also know as Echo.
Right. Yeah. And that was more of her origin story, kind of.
Echoes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely, because
yep.
she's trying to find the Ronin.
Yeah, and with her scenes from her childhood, we saw her uncle from behind, and when I saw who I thought her uncle was, I didn't want to get my hopes up. That it really was. I thought it was going to be the Kingpin, and
Yes, we did get that. So it's great because, well, Daredevil that was on Netflix was part of the MCU. And so when we discussed our last episode about No Way Home, we got a lawyer, a blind lawyer that we knew from the Daredevil series. And then at the end of episode 5, we got verification.
A picture, an actual picture.
An actual picture of some bald-headed guy. And actually, that was in the Ronin episode. And then we got the final episode, which So This Is Christmas. And I thought they were going to play that song. I don't know why, but
I thought they didn't.
And they didn't.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yes. I mean, I think it would have put it in a different direction. But the first episode and then the last episode just so totally brought me, and especially the music in the last episode brought me to Home Alone.
Okay.
The second one.
Okay.
Home Alone 2.
Sure.
I was like, oh yeah. And even your mom said, oh yeah, that's the music from Home Alone.
Okay.
I said, well, yeah, it's music, but it's music for a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like it's an uncommon song, you know?
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed, but on the end of episode 5, when they reveal, Vincent D'Onofrio's character.
Yes.
At the very end, when they had the visualizations of the end credits.
Yes.
They had Kate and, Hawkeye's silhouette in the background, and over the city, it was the shape of Kingpin.
I will have to watch that again.
Yeah, I'll splice it in there.
Okay, that would be great. I'd love to see that.
But he had that, and then when that episode launched, Vincent D'Onofrio's Twitter account, he put, when I was a boy, and then showed us the picture of that at the very end. So I was like,
wow.
It was, So in the same week, we got Vincent D'Onofrio returning to the MCU and
Charlie
Cox, and it was just that was like the perfect moment for all that to happen at once, and it was great.
Right, and you were good with all that.
I was very happy. I was very happy to see that. It was good.
Oh my gosh, yes. It was a great story. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yep.
And then we got the reveal for their episodes, their outfits, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
That the Loppers made for them, right?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, nothing really, really fancy.
But that was cool.
Right. They were more than adequate for what they were. And we did also get Elena Belova.
Elena, yeah.
Yes, Elena. And we kind of got some conclusion in that in the last episode, a little bit of conclusion, because she left Clint and didn't kill him.
Right. I mean, that was an interesting plot point, because at the end of Black Widow, what we saw was Yelena visiting the grave of Natasha.
Yes.
And then Valentina showing up with her next target, which was Clint Barton.
Right.
And so that payoff ended up being episodes 4, 5, and 6 of this. And You know, I do think that they're really setting it up for the, you know, Clint and Natasha, you know, the way that they played off each other in the Infinity Saga.
Right.
For now, Kate and Yelena kind of to take that off, you know, because
Yes.
they shared actually a really cool scene where they were talking with each other in the burnt out, you know, top floor of the pizza place.
Yes,
that was
and
trash.
she
But
made
yeah,
some wonderful macaroni and cheese
with sriracha. Yeah.
Yes,
Which, by the way, I need to try that now.
macaroni and cheese with sriracha.
Yeah.
Well, I was told by your brother that his girlfriend was making mac and cheese. So if you got sriracha,
Yeah.
if not, we'll have to go get some. Right?
So yeah.
No, we'll go get some. Not a big deal. But that does sound good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I thought that was nice to get, you know, inclusion from the movies back into the TV series.
Well, I don't know how you feel about this, but you know, it's my when we saw I guess it was Civil War when we had the new Avengers at the end with Vision and
No, that was end of Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Okay, it was at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that they were going to go in a direction where they would you know, phase out the old Avengers.
Right.
Whereas in this series, I feel like they are actually going to phase them all out. I have a feeling that maybe Clint is going to retire, and then Kate's going to take over as Hawkeye,
right?
And then Elena's going to be Black Widow. She is a Black Widow, but taking Natasha's spot there.
Yeah, and then you have Sam Wilson as Captain America.
Yes.
You know, they said they're going to have Armor Wars, which is a spin-off that's probably going to feature Riri Williams, which also she was a, you know, kind of a version of Iron Man as well. And then we have Kamala Khan as Ms. Marvel. She's going to have her own series too.
So right, I've heard that.
So there's that, and then you have, I mean, you probably could get.
Didn't you mention to me that Echo is going to?
She's supposed to have her own series as well, and so obviously that they kind of set that up at the very, very end of the last episode, with her confronting Kingpin, as she realizes that he's responsible for the death of her father.
Yes, and but of course, you just hear a shot. You don't know.
Yeah.
If he took the gun away and she missed,
there's no way they're gonna bring back Vincent D'Onofrio for 1.5 episodes.
At least you hope not.
No,
right?
They better not.
So, do you feel because we saw Charlie Cox in Spider-Man that the Disney Plus may do a Daredevil?
I think actually the most likely thing is Charlie Cox will next appear on the She-Hulk series. Because she's a lawyer, he's a lawyer. It makes sense for them to be together. So that'd be my guess.
Do you know when the She-Hulk series is supposed to come out?
Next year sometime, but I don't know for sure.
We'll have to look into that. But my only disappointment about this whole thing is that I have yet to been able to purchase any of these series on DVD.
Right.
Not Loki, not WandaVision, not Winter Soldier, Falcon, nothing. Not even the Bad Batch. There was a small period of time when somebody was bootlegging them, but I think that maybe Disney Plus stopped that.
Okay.
I'm guessing because you can't find them now. Whereas before they were available, so I'm just not sure, but I'm a little disappointed about that because I would love to have them.
Yeah.
The one thing that I like about the DVD issue is that you can watch 1, 2, or 3 episodes at a time, depending upon the time frame of the episodes, and the story just flows a little bit smoother because you're not waiting a week for the next episode. I know you can rewatch them again on Disney Plus in a similar type way.
Actually, I think it's easier with Disney Plus because you can just watch them back to back and have to change the disc out.
Well, you don't really have to change the disc out on most of them when you only have 6 episodes. It's usually only one disc.
No,
so
no, it's not.
well, I had that issue with um, the Mandalorian, but most of those came out like you as 3 disc. They had, but they were 8 episodes.
I don't remember.
I think or 9. I'm trying to remember, but they wound up being 2 or 3 discs, as I recall. Which I thought maybe we'll talk about at the very end of this episode.
Okay.
About our next episode, quite possibly.
Okay.
Another first impressions. Because I believe maybe while we're here that there's going to be Star Wars coming on Disney Plus.
Okay.
This week.
Okay.
The Book of Boba Fett.
Okay. Well, we didn't talk about Mandalorian, so I don't know. We don't necessarily have to do that.
Okay, fine. That's where you want to be. I have a lot of. I brought some DVDs with me that we can do. I know you're. Seeing as how the very end of this episode was very cringeworthy.
Oh yeah, the post credits. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's
I brought a movie that probably would be cringeworthy for you.
I don't know why you would want to do that.
Well, because it is kind of funny. I like it for that. But anyways, what was your favorite part of this series? Would you say
it has to be the last episode with Vincent D'Onofrio reprising his role as Kingpin and playing it almost exactly the way it was in the Daredevil series. He played it almost to a T. He definitely was a lot stronger in this version.
Yes.
Like, being able just to get up after being hit by a car into a store.
Yes. So, and he did get shot a few times, right?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, it's interesting. I think that according to interviews done since then, Vincent D'Onofrio said that it is the same Kingpin from both things. It's the same character,
right?
And so just trying to theorize what would be his motivation for doing what he did. I guess the idea was that Kingpin was not blipped, and so he was trying to take.
That's my thought too.
He was trying to take over, and then Ronan kind of ruined all the plans. So that explains why he definitely has the same level of smoldering rage that he had in Daredevil. Really, good acting, particularly the exchange that he had with Kate Bishop's mom,
Eleanor,
and the fight scene at the end between him and Kate was pretty good.
Oh yes, it was very good. And I'm gonna say too that that was an interesting plot twist when we find that Eleanor was the one that contracted Yelena Belova to kill Clint.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why she decided to put a hit out on him. I don't think that was made clear or not.
No, and I'm not sure as far as like you said at the end of Black Widow when we got that teaser. With Valentina.
Right.
Was it something? Was that the episode 1 going on and episode 2 going on? When does Eleanor and Duquesne find out that Clint and Kate are like together, working together?
I think it's like episode 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when he takes her back to the house. And,
and that's when we got Yelena's first appearance.
At the end of that episode, yeah.
Yeah, so is that, coincide with Valentina at the very end of the
No,
teaser?
I think that happens before the events of this entire series. Because remember, this takes place within like 4 or 5 days, 6 days.
The whole series.
This whole series.
Yes.
Because it's 6 days before Christmas and it ends on Christmas. That's the first episode of 6 Days Before Christmas.
Right, so. That's true. So, but she still decides at the end, Elena is not going to kill him.
No, and you know, obviously it has to. I think a lot of it has to do with Clint giving her, you know, kind of the inside information about what happened, and you know, I think being a spy, Yelena could tell if he was lying about that, and he wasn't.
So. Right, but she didn't want to believe him.
Right.
But in the end, he said, "You know your sister."
Right. Exactly.
And she did.
Yep.
So again, I thought that gave her some closure with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when we saw that she posted, it was at the end of episode 5,
yeah,
where she posted to Kate, "Hey, I know who hired me."
Mm-hmm.
Do that, and then she showed her mother with Kingpin. That's we got that reveal. So
right.
Eleanor must have contacted Valentina too.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying it kind of had to all be at the same time.
No.
Not necessarily.
No, because, you know, her targeting Clint happened before that. No, you can't just think that, you know.
Because she knew that Kate was with him, that's why she targeted him.
Well, the other thing is that it wasn't winter when Valentina was meeting up with Yelena.
That's true.
It was at the very least it was early fall, because, you know, there were still leaves on the trees, and, you know, it wasn't like, so it couldn't have been at the same time. It must have happened before.
Well, we really don't know, because we don't know where that special area is.
Well, it's got to be in New York. It's where everything else is.
Okay, I guess. All right, I will go along with your reasoning. You have some really good reasoning when it comes to, you see some things more than I do. So
okay,
I'll go with that. All right. So, and did you like the Tracksuit Mafia part of it?
Yeah. Actually, I thought that was a really good inclusion. In fact, a lot of these characters are actually taken from the 2012 Hawkeye series. You know, we talked about that. We showed pictures of it in the first one, so we won't rehash any of that. But the Tracksuit Mafia's in there, Kingpin's in there, Echo's in there, Kate Bishop's in there. Monkey.
And what's the other guy? Kazi. Yeah. Now he's like just under Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
So even though Maya or Echo was leading the Tracksuit Mafia,
right,
he was kind of the one that answered to Kingpin.
Yep.
So she was above him.
Mm-hmm.
And what we learned in this, that Kazi was the one to tell Clint where her father was, right? And how he wasn't there.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Right, because she had questioned Kazi and asked him, "Hey, why weren't you at the meeting?"
Right. Yep.
So, but she kills him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
At least that's what we're led to believe,
mm-hmm.
because it's another one of those things where we hear the shot fired, we're not right there when it happens. So
right.
We assume that she does that, and that brings us to the end where again she confronts Kingpin with a gun, and we hear a shot.
Right.
But as you say, he's not dead.
I don't believe he is. No. To me, they would, like I said, they wouldn't just waste all of that for just one episode and 1.1 episodes or whatever.
Right. Well, you know, he also we could, like I said, we could have a little Daredevil series too. You know, and like we could have that at the same time we had the She-Hulk thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or they could be a team, which I don't know if I've ever seen a team up with She-Hulk and Daredevil. So I'm not really sure I can go with that.
Yeah.
But I can see that as an Avengers team. Elena Belova, Kate Bishop, Falcon, Captain America Falcon, Bucky, She-Hulk and Daredevil as an Avengers group.
Sure.
I mean, I don't see why that couldn't be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Which that might be big time movie time.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, well, you have to remember a lot of these characters, they had small amounts of actual film screen time. You know, really, they got more on the smaller screen, you know, where they got their actual character explorations.
Correct.
I don't know if they'll bring it back to the movies or they'll make it a Disney Plus thing. I don't know.
Well, what I'm saying is, you know, they had the movie Eternals. They had no TV time, so again, when that comes out on DVD, I'll get it.
Yeah,
and we can watch it and make an assessment of it. I'm not really, not looking forward to it, but still, I need to watch it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But because these characters have already had screen development, they could, for instance, make a movie, the New Avengers, or you know, something along that way. Where they wouldn't have to do a lot of character development because it's already been done. You know, we would know those characters.
Yeah.
So that may work out good.
Sure.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm waiting to see what's going to happen with Morbius. That's also a Sony product, right?
That's right.
So not MCU,
right?
You think?
Definitely not.
Okay. All right. I know there's, for me, you know, it's all Marvel, you know, but I guess, like you said, Sony in association with Marvel. So I didn't really check that out on Venom. Let There Be Carnage to see if it said that at the beginning.
Right.
I guess we can check it out. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Okay.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part, definitely was the scene where he dressed up almost like Jeremy was James Bond.
Oh yeah, it's the last episode. Yeah,
yes,
at the party.
The last episode at the party.
Yeah,
and all the lappers were there.
Yeah,
I thought that was definitely interesting. How the comedic part of it is, you know, hey, they're not listening to us in our you know, servants gear. Let's get our stuff on. So they get all their costumes on, you know, and they do their little stint. But that whole thing with the fight and everything, and the total annihilation of all of the TSM, you know, coming down there, and then the tear down of the tree. That definitely was my favorite part. I thought that was great.
Yeah. Good.
Okay. So.
Oh, the other thing we'll mention is that at the very end, you know, they go back to the farmhouse for Christmas and everything, and Kate's with them, and you know, Lucky too. And that part I really enjoyed. And then at the very end, Clint gives the watch back to Laura, and it's got a SHIELD logo on the back.
Yes, it does.
So I'm wondering if there's a extra piece with her and SHIELD.
Well, if you remember through the movie, he would ask her questions about things, and she would find the answers. So she somehow was able to get that information that probably not too many people could get.
So I guess the question is, since you saw all the 6 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she did not show up. She didn't show up, though.
No.
Okay.
I can't remember her showing up.
All right.
But she could have been, and also she could have been in the movies where S.H.I.E.L.D. was involved, that she could have been like just a character that was at one of the computer screens that we didn't really get much of a view of. But probably not, because she was already married to Clint and had kids.
It wouldn't be that.
It would have to be before that.
It's before, yeah.
Okay, and let me think about that. most of the Shield stuff coordinates with the movies. So, like Winter Soldier was around the time that season 3 maybe started, or season 2, either at the end of season 2, start of season 3. So, if she was in it, she would have to be in 1 or 2 then.
Okay.
So, I'll go back and watch all 48 episodes and let you know if she was in 1 or 2.
Yeah, I don't recommend that.
Look.
All right.
I enjoyed it.
I know.
Okay, I enjoy it all.
I know.
All of them, every one of them. But you don't. Okay, so shall we give this a rating?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, well, I liked it a lot. I'm going to give it a 9.5. It's almost a 10 for me.
Yep.
But there again, too, after seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, and then that last episode, that really jacked it up for me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think 9.5 is a good rating. I'll go with a 9, just an even number. It's you were most excited for Hawkeye out of the Disney Plus series.
Yes.
And I think you were right. This is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier is a close second, but this one, to me, it had the right mix of action, humor, character development, and just Vincent D'Onofrio kind of put it over the top.
For you. Which it did for me too. I was happy to see him there.
Yeah.
But no, the whole thing, like you said, it just, every episode left you wanting more. And that's why I said I don't think 6 was enough. Yeah. I could have gone for even 10 would have made me happy, but
sure.
I'm happy with 6. I'm just hoping that someday I'll be able to get it on DVD.
Right. Okay.
All right, good.
All right, let's wrap it up there. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time with something different. Goodbye and God bless.
Goodbye, God bless, and tell your friends.